T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey y'all. Welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Welcome, y'all. Of course, I am your host, Lachelle Hooks. If you are tuned in today, y'all are my family, y'all my cousins and them. So thank you so much for tuning in, coming to the barbecue, okay? And thank you for just being with us today. If you agree with the message today, I ask you to just simply share the live. Amen and amen. So, y'all see this beautiful queen over here. Hey, Lisa. I'm so excited for my friend, my true friend, my sister, to be with me today. I'm so excited to have you. We got Lisa in the building. Yes. So, Lisa, I'll just give you a little bit of information about the queen. She's a chef. I absolutely love when she makes me food. Okay. I freaking love it, Lord. And she's also an accountant and honestly a whole bunch more. It's a beautiful, wonderful woman that we have with us today. So thank you for joining us, Queen.
Thank you for having me.
We got a powerful message for the people today.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of men gonna like me after today.
Well,
We're gonna find out. We are gonna find out.
We're gonna have a great debate today.
Yes. No,
Not
it's
even a
not gonna be a
debate.
debate.
Not a
Sometimes our
debate.
conversations do
That's
kind of
what I
turn
mean.
into like debate
That's what I
mode,
mean.
Lord.
Yes. Because
Yes.
we don't always agree, but it's always respectful. Like we said.
Yeah, and that's it always is. And honestly, we've had so many conversations before, of course,
Right.
but a lot of times our perception of things is simply because of our experiences. We've had different experiences. Sometimes if you haven't had that particular experience, you can't relate.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But one thing I do love about you is that we definitely, have agreed on multiple things to disagree. And I think that's how grown women and men should be. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, once again, a lot of these grown men listening to this podcast right now may not like me after this, right? May not like me after this. Honestly, I think it's just going to be me, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. Hand clap for me. Hand clap for me. My podcast. We gonna give y'all that work today, okay? So we were actually supposed to have a panel of beautiful women today. And we had 2 cancellations. The reason being is because previously I had a panel of men. And
that's right.
They were up here, talking about their desires from women. Look at the eyes, y'all. I got to look at the eyes. Their expectations. Yes, Lord. Their expectations of women, all that good stuff. And I wanted the men to have the floor. I wanted the men to speak freely without interruption, without, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to hear, right? And so today I wanted to hear from the ladies. So thank you for showing up. I know you finna show out. I respect your opinion. I respect who
yeah, I
you
respect that
are.
opinion.
So yeah, so we finna give them that work today.
All right.
So fellas, don't tune out. Just be open minded
And don't be
and
upset with us.
don't be upset with us, y'all. Sometimes men don't like to listen, but hopefully, they're open minded today and, hopefully they listening a little bit today.
And
Okay.
I'll also say to tell the ladies to listen because sometimes
Go ahead.
us ladies don't like to hear certain things. Like they don't like to take the accountability. Sometimes the ladies don't like to take accountability.
So we're gonna get into the
I'm huge about-
accountability part.
I'm huge on that.
I know you are. So we're gonna get into the accountability part, but I am someone who, and you know this, I esteem men to the highest regard.
Mhm.
I look at men like, oh my goodness, they should be catered to. You are such a caterer. You don't play no games when it comes to catering to your man. I'm a witness of this. As long as they're deserving. But I esteem men to the highest regard. And I've even been called a pick me, because of how I esteem men. I believe
Mhm.
men should be honored. I believe men, I believe they should just be viewed in a certain light. Again, these are men. These are men,
Real
right?
men,
Real
not
men,
boys.
not
Men.
boys. So the
Men, it's a
only
big difference.
thing with that, y'all only know one side of it. Y'all don't know necessarily the whole side of why Lachelle esteems men the way that I esteem men. Amen. So I also hold men responsible for absolutely everything. So wait. Drop a bomb for that. Why do I hold them and esteem them to such a high regard? Because honestly, if something goes wrong, if the relationship is over, this is my personal opinion, y'all. I feel like they are held accountable. It is their fault. Am I saying the woman shouldn't take accountability for her actions? Nope, I'm not saying that. But just like if the waiter messes up, you go to the manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
To
but
me,
I can't
it's
say that,
go ahead,
Shell.
queen. I know most people
can't
will not
say
agree
that.
with me
I
on
won't
this.
agree. I won't agree with that because I have seen a lot of relationships
Mhm.
that go wrong, and it is the woman.
Okay.
It really, really is the woman.
But why did he choose her as his woman? He knew she was a Jezebel. He knew
Not
she
even
wasn't
necessarily that she
responsible.
was. No,
Why
not
did
necessarily.
whatever the
'Cause some
situation
women
was? Why
actually
did you
do.
choose her as your spouse?
Some women do change, just like
So you
some men change within a relationship.
so you chose her thinking that she was gonna change. This is from a male
That's not what I
perspective.
mean.
Okay.
What I mean is this.
Come on, sis. Come on, sis. Come on, sis.
Let me come with it.
Tommy in the building too. Hey, Tommy.
What I will say is this: a lot of people.
Come on,
and
because they most gonna agree.
This is not just men, and this is not just women. This is people in relationships. People give out a representative.
Absolutely.
When you first meet someone, you are getting the representative.
Speak on it, queen.
Rarely is the representative the real person. Now that just is not who I am. Who I present myself to be in the very beginning is who I continue to be.
Amen.
But a lot of people are not that way.
Right.
So he may have fallen in love with and may have chose her because of the representative.
Right.
And then as they progressed,
right,
the real her showed up.
Now that's true, but at the same time, and for me, I'm always gonna be the same as long as you the same. I had to correct myself because if you switch up, I'm gonna have to switch up.
Right.
If I feel like I have to protect myself against you, then I'm gonna protect myself against you type stuff. Even if it's me protecting my heart, but in that sense, though, he should have given it more time to really get to know this woman. Most of the time, these men go after these women because of the looks and not truly their character. But he should have given it more time. And then if she did switch up, why did she switch up? You know what I'm saying?
Because like I said, it's a representative.
Right.
She wanted to.
He should have gave him more time, sis.
Sometimes, and we're talking about, because this happened to me before too.
Right.
Where I've even waited. And then they gave me once I like
Like he's just absolute perfect, and then
once you put
everything
that
is on
guard
her.
down, and then he like starts to switch up. But then it's also up to the person that you're with to start seeing those red flags. Like you got to start noticing the red
And
flags.
whose responsibility is that? The man's. In
Not
that
all the time.
in that regard.
I'm saying if it's
Sister,
I'm being honest. You want to
most people are going to agree with her on this. Trust me. But really quick, let's welcome Tommy.
Hello.
Hey, Tommy.
What's happening? I'm the voice from beyond.
Yes, the voice from beyond. No camera? No camera time?
I mean, I
I
don't
would
have.
love you on camera. We can actually do. We might as well just have the girls and the
Should I
guys
scoot over?
today. We might as well have the girls and the guys today. Girls and the guys.
I'm the representative of all men.
The
But she's
ladies-
talking all the game to actually support us, so I don't have nothing to say.
I mean, just,
She is.
I mean,
She is.
And that's where we disagree.
It's accountability.
Reason
It's accountability.
I esteem men so high, but I esteem men so high because of the weight that they have on their shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
It's a
they-
lot
but
of
they
men
are
that aren't
supposed to be
willing to carry
leaders.
that weight. It's a lot of men that don't pick up that weight, and those are the men that I don't necessarily respect as men. But for the men that do take that ownership and be like, you know what, my family didn't work out, I'm just gonna take this accountability. Not saying a woman shouldn't take accountability for her part, but he just gonna take accountability. Like, you know what, I was the head of that family. I was the leader of this family. We're both leaders, but I'm the leader.
He's the leader.
He is the leader.
He is the leader. You're not the leader. He's the leader. He's
Well,
supposed to
no,
follow.
I feel like y'all both have leading roles, but he is. I do feel like he's the
He's the
head of
leader.
the family,
He's the
and
head.
I see, and
Mhm.
the fact that you agreed to that, sister, I love that. You know, we love those men who are going to lead. But again, the reason why I esteem men as such a high regard is because of the weight that y'all have to carry. But I'm also going to hold y'all accountable for carrying that weight. So everything, in my personal opinion, not saying women shouldn't take accountability, is y'all fault. Everything is
Everything.
y'all fault. The relationship didn't work out. It's y'all fault. She cheated. Okay, but why? Why did she cheat? What happened to cause her to cheat?
You're serious.
Why did you pick that
But
woman?
I mean,
Why did
for
you
real,
pick that
sometimes
woman
you
in
need
the
a
first
war.
place? Why did you pick
You
her in the
serious?
first place?
You were. I'm laughing, but wait. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is.
I hold the
You
man.
dead
I
ass.
hold the
Okay.
man. Yeah, when Eve ate that apple, God didn't necessarily hold them accountable until Adam ate it too. In my personal opinion,
Okay,
everything
okay.
I can see what
falls
you're
I can. I
saying.
can.
on
That.
the
That.
man.
That's.
Everything falls on the man.
That's legit.
And it takes honestly a real man to like be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this and just call it a day.
Mhm.
And
I'm definitely a what did I do wrong type of brother. I am. I definitely am.
I
I
would say
am.
not enough men do that.
hmm
Not enough
I feel
men
like I need to
ask
go
that
back.
question. Like, what did I do wrong? How could I have, improved? And sometimes I will say this, sometimes it takes time for
Yeah.
them to come back and like reflect on the relationship for them and to grow up and to start to evolve before they can actually come back and be honest and say, well, you know what? Maybe that was my fault. Which I actually had recently where someone came and apologized for something that was something I complained about for years. And they just recently, light bulb went off and they said, you know what, you were right about that. And I apologize.
I love it. Shout out to DeMarcus. He said, "Thank you, Lisa," because you clearly are representing, a lot of
Well,
the
you're
fellas
welcome, DeMarcus.
right
you know,
now.
I'm gonna
But
keep
no,
it real.
yeah, I'm telling y'all not gonna like me after today. I hope y'all love me, but you may not like me.
So over the
But
years,
go ahead.
I've done similar to my ex-wife, and most recently I was watching, TikTok and the reels and all those things that pop up to like 15, 20, 30 seconds of like knowledge that people be dropping. It's very contextual, but you might be able to relate it to your life. And I saw a episode of J.R. Smith, former NBA player, played with LeBron James and Cleveland, and played for New York and Los Angeles. He talked about Ray Allen going back to get his master's degree. This is a long kind of analogy, but follow me. He was going back to get his master's, and he was like, "Dude, why are you going back to get your master's?" And he was like, I'm just trying to take care of things that I neglected over my life, because while I was playing basketball, I was concerned about becoming the better basketball player. So I just spent a lot of time on my skills, dribbling, shooting, all that stuff. I lost focus on making my relationships better, my family, my children, my wife, all that different, all that stuff. So, and himself kind of doing that. And then J.R. Smith, who is kind of looked at kind of funny because he doesn't look, he's perceived as just not smart person based off of some antics he's done on the court. But he articulated this very well. It's like, you know what, that made me reflect on all my career. I was trying to get better at my jump shot. I was trying to get better at this, trying to get better at that, trying to, better myself, and neglected all the relationships around myself. Mm-hmm. So I equated that with me during my marriage, moving my way up the educational ladder. I got expedited to an administrator at like 28 years old. I was a high school principal. I was making money. I bought a house. I brought my family together. We moved up in Menominee Falls in a nice subdivision and all this stuff. It was
real man stuff.
It was real man stuff. So I was like, I'm making it happen. And I realized that selfishly, that was all me. Even though I said, I remember having arguments with my wife at the time. At this house, I did all this stuff. I did this for you. And one of the downfalls to the divorce, one of the downfalls of the marriage was she said that she felt like she was by herself because I was working so hard to up myself and prove to the white people that a black man can still do this. I was putting so much effort in that I neglected. There were times I missed. I remember my daughter going to school in Menominee Falls in second grade, and next thing I know, we were going to eighth grade graduation. I was like, "What happened? I missed all those years. I missed all those years."
When you are the head, y'all, like what happens when you're at the very top? Everything like beneath you, everything that is beneath you, whatever is on you flows down to them. Mm-hmm. That energy. The precedents that you're setting, all of that, which is why it's so important for the woman to be such a support system for that man.
It is, but I'm going to it kind of comes back to what you said about the man being the head. It's so much pressure on being the head. I was taking all of the weight and it ruined my marriage.
Wow.
It ruined my marriage because I took the weight, and I'm not saying I did everything, but I was doing everything I felt a man should do to make sure that everybody was happy.
Well,
and it didn't work.
To be in agreement. Not only that, but if we really want to go into that,
are we gonna battle?
No, but if we really want to, okay. No, for real though. If we really, really want to go into that, Tommy, I love you so much. I know you shared this with us. This is a part of your testimony. Mm-hmm. You picked someone that you didn't necessarily go after, but you picked someone because they were like after you. You picked a woman that was like after you. Is that right?
To a certain extent. I mean, we were, it was a trauma bond. It was definitely a trauma bond. I was going through something. She was going through something. And at that moment, we just at the sun, moon, and stars just kind of aligned, and we were just together. Right. And we helped each other through some very tough times. And that became a pact. And that actually can work. And it can work. Based off of your maturity level. I guess your maturity level of understanding what you have and growing on that. Like if that happened now, if it happened in my 30s or 40s, it would have been great. It happened in my 20s.
So are you saying for this that you feel like you should have just communicated more with her, made her more
I could have communicated all I wanted. I didn't know no better. I thought I was doing I was talking and doing all I knew at that time.
Right.
I watched my stepfather come in.
Right. With her and including her. So she felt all by herself.
Right. I made her sound ungrateful for all I was doing.
But you weren't catering to her emotional feelings. You weren't catering to her heart. You weren't catering to, the things that she truly needed. It's a lot of men out here that's like, I'm going to pay all the bills. You need to just hush on up and just, seriously, I'm not going to be a woman that's good in that situation either.
Yeah.
I do need you to cater to my heart. I do need you to cater to, my emotional needs and, spiritual.
I understand that now, years later, but now
probably a lot of men that don't understand that.
Yeah, but dating at this age and then trying to understand that now
We
is
gonna
ridiculous.
get into dating at this age because we all at that age. So we gonna get into that.
Y'all ain't at my
I'm
age.
just
No, we are.
it's just listening to his
Upper 30s,
situation
lower
was,
40s. Yeah.
was my situation but reversed.
Oh, really?
You know, it was really reversed. So I was the one that was like, I mean, but we were both in school at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I was the one, like, once we finished up school, I was like, you know, working hard on my career, trying to, you know, elevate. And then he was just like complacent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, dude, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, quit dragging your feet. Like,
Mhm.
we got stuff to do. And it was like that frustration of having so much weight on your shoulders.
As a woman, you're
As
not
a
built
woman,
to
you're
carry
not-
That's
Yeah.
that.
that's
Built to carry
I agree with you.
that.
That's different. That's a little different.
That's
Yeah.
It's a little
definitely
different because the complacency is the issue because the I guess the bearing the weight of recognizing that what you're doing is carrying the load. It's his job to actually recognize that and say, well, what can I do to kind of do that? Or to be
But see, he was worried about the emotions. How women are like, well, what about me and what about my emotions?
That's
what
how
about
he
loving and
was.
hugging and kissing on me? And it's like, I can't love and hug and kiss on you because I got bills right now.
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about that. Right
Yeah, that's not attractive anymore.
No.
like, I don't care about that right now.
Right.
Like, tell me what you're gonna do to get 25 more thousand next year. Like, come
Right.
on now. And it's not about me being a gold digger or anything like that. Because I was,
No,
you know,
you want
it's
what
just
you
I
provide,
want
what
us.
you have.
I just left from upstairs having a conversation with a woman that was so like elevating intellectually that I all of a sudden start looking at her differently. Like I never have like this is an energy. This is a definite energy. So if you have the opposite of that energy, that will turn you off. Like the fact that I'm doing all this and
Was
you,
she turning you on, Tommy? Hold on. Is that what I just heard? I'm gonna have to find out who this is.
are you the
I might have to
are you
play
the
the
new
third
Jerry
party.
Springer? Are you the new Jerry Springer
Sound
now?
like you trying to
No.
be missed.
Right. Sound like it.
He's single. What do you mean?
Yeah, I am. But I'm saying.
Exactly.
but-
I
but-
will be the the glue to that.
But if my ex-wife was complacent, she wasn't complacent. She was a move maker. And she was hustling. She was doing all these different things on the side. But she was
wanted her husband.
she wanted me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I
she
want my
wanted me,
husband.
and she didn't want to have to do all that stuff. And she was doing all the picking up and dropping off, and every so often I would do everything else. But I would pick up on the weekends, but on the week it was her. So as the man, if that was her doing all that, I have a problem with that. I feel insignificant being at home and watching that happen. So that's why I say it's a little different.
Yeah.
How about we
and
just
then
be
also
equally
it's
yoked?
like, besides that, I mean, then you still want me to cook, clean, and do all the woman things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the man and the woman. I can only be
You can't-
one
yeah.
or the other.
Mhm.
I'm not. You know, I don't have a problem with. It's not even about okay, I make more money than you, but it's more so, are you lazy?
There you go. And that's not an attractive.
You know what I mean?
Quality.
Mhm.
That's
I
not
mean,
an
it's not
attractive
even
quality.
about that. It's like, what are you really doing? Are you just sitting around playing video games and doing nothing really
Yeah.
all day long? Or
You feeling
are you
attacked?
up
Tony?
hustling, trying to do, trying to make ends meet or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and trying to get us in a better space?
Yeah.
That's different. And you make less than money than me. That's different.
Mhm.
But if we got the same degree, literally the same degree, like,
What are you doing? And
what are you
yeah,
doing to try to make that work, work for us?
That's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So y'all, I've known. Oh,
I thought you were
Tom
about to say
get on the
something.
mic. Yeah. So really quick, I don't even really know if I really went over the history of Lisa and I. Did I?
No.
I don't think I
No.
really did. So
This woman is and where she came from.
right.
Ooh.
Lisa's one of my best friends. Somebody who's gonna be in my wedding. I'm not dating absolutely nobody, but one day,
I was about to say wedding.
right? Exactly. I can manifest it. Okay,
Can
in
manifest
Jesus'
it.
name.
Yes.
But I've known her since we worked together at Fidelity Investment Services. 10 years
FIS?
plus. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. More than 10.
Yep. So
It's been like knocking on 15.
15
Yeah,
years,
something like that.
15 years plus.
Mhm.
So yeah, she's absolutely one of my best friends, somebody who's been there for me at my lowest of lows. and some of the highs too. And we'll be there, going forward, because it's only up from here.
Absolutely.
Amen. So yeah, this is one of my best friends, y'all, that's on the mic right now. So, one of my best friends. So, yeah, y'all. So once again, it's all y'all fault. Once again, it's all y'all fault. Not saying we're not taking accountability. That is the only way for a woman to learn. She should absolutely take accountability for her actions.
Okay.
She should learn from them and go forward.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, the fault of itself
I can kind of feel where she's coming from a
has to
little
go
bit.
on.
Just a little bit. I see it. It does.
I know
It does.
do. But why do y'all think I esteem men the way that I do?
But I'm gonna say
King.
this,
Why y'all
the-
think I be calling them king?
You
It's the
are an anomaly.
that they have on their shoulders.
You're an anomaly because what you stated is true. There is fault to lie in the person who's leading. There is fault. That's where you're going with it. If
Not
I'm leading,
saying that she's not accountable for her actions. I see Tone ready to rip me apart, Jesus.
but the accountability that I brought to the table in reflection of my actions brought back to my ex-wife, because this has been since 2018. So what is that? 5 years? 5 years divorce. Her response was, there are things that I could have done better too.
Yeah.
Which is a
absolutely.
But that is a very, very rare circumstance for a woman to take. So the fact that you say that is fine. Yeah, I will take responsibility if there's some ownership, because in any and every conflict, literally any or every conflict, there's accountability on both parts.
So for me, there are different versions of me, kind of, right?
I'm learning this now.
No, you haven't learned it. Honestly, you haven't learned it. This is for somebody I'm in a relationship. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
No, I don't know. We've had a lot of conversations, so we'll see.
But a man that I'm in a relationship with, real quick, Tom, a man that I'm in a relationship with, if you are a good man and you're pouring into me like I'm pouring into you, you're gonna get the best of me.
Oh, well,
you're gonna get, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
You're gonna get the best of me. If you are someone I have to protect my heart from, you become disrespectful. You become that person that's complacent and not assisting me with the bills. You know what I'm saying? You're not being that man that I esteem anymore. You're not going to get that version of me anymore.
Exactly.
I'm going to begin to be
now you
in that protective state. Yeah, I do. That's why it's very important it's so important, y'all, for a man to be treated like a king. But in order for him to be treated like a king, he has to be viewed as such. He has to walk in that light.
Like a queen.
And he's not going to be viewed as such if he don't.
Right.
Exactly. All on him.
I mean,
I believe so many, listen, that panel of men, especially Tighter Guy, shout out to Tighter Guy. That panel of men was like, they feel like, the change starts with the woman. The change does not start with the woman in these relationships, in these dating situations, none of that. The change starts with the man. Once the men walk in the proper light that God ordained them to walk in, women will line up with that. Don't go to sleep on me, Tone.
I'm not going to sleep.
I'm not. Yes, that's why I see men as
had
such.
he been different and not been complacent, he would have gotten all of that he wanted from me naturally. Because it's not that I didn't want to give it to him. It's just that
it's in you
at this point, if you're not gonna be a man, or I can't say that, but if you're not gonna, fulfill your duties, then don't expect me to give you all of me. I can't give you all of me. I'm tired.
Listen, so I can't give you won't have enough left over to give him what he requires.
Yeah, I can't pour into you
as a man
at that point.
I think you are wholeheartedly.
Who you pointing at?
You, the traditionalist. You're somewhat traditional in the aspect of the man being the leader in all aspects. So it sounds unconditional but it sounds unconditional, where a lot of women will have conditions based off of their expectations of a man.
I do believe that women are leaders too. I'm a powerhouse.
Yeah,
so
you say this.
Absolutely. Listen,
I believe it. I mean, I hear it all the time, but
but I am very submissive to a man
who's being a man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the truth. That's we're saying the
That's
same thing.
naturally
We're saying
who
the
I
same
wanna
thing.
be.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
naturally want to be submissive.
women. That's
I naturally,
That's how
but
God
not all
created
women. I
us.
can't say that because I know some
but
women
what
that
broke
don't
them?
even want to
What
be that.
broke them? What situation created that? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That
That's true.
mindset. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm
Wish
glad
you
y'all
was on
got,
camera, but
I'm glad y'all got right there because this literally leads into what my question was
And I'm
going to be.
I
following
didn't get to not one
I'm
card.
You never do, so that's all right.
That it be your fault. It really
I am. I'm gonna get to the
It
card
really do be
today.
your fault.
Her
I'm
ki-
gonna
her
get
her,
to
ki-
this
her
card
car is so
today.
cute.
Let me.
They
ask you
black
this
with white
question
writing.
now.
Shine your light. See?
Is it the other individual's fault when one person in the relationship is still holding on to premeditated trauma? Basically meaning that either from representation of father figures or mother figures, from growing up and how relationships were with them in regards to other relatives' relationships, or even let's just say go back to their first serious relationship.
Right.
In their eyes, it did not work out, or else we wouldn't be here in this moment trying to see where things can go. Is it in your mindset still that man's fault when he does everything that deems him a king, yet she still holds on to the belief structure that the other shoe is eventually going to
Here's
fall?
why it's his fault.
I already know it.
Here.
I know why she finna say it. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I'm really more so
First
asking
and
this for
foremost-
podcast reasons because
First and foremost,
I'm ready.
y'all should know that I have gone through HELL. You know this personally. You have seen some of the traumas that I have bounced back from that most people probably wouldn't have been able to bounce back from.
Yeah,
Amen.
Absolutely. Amen.
Okay. So, as someone who has experienced high levels of trauma, I can say, first of all, we should not be dating until we're in a healed space to begin with. Okay.
Well,
but secondly, and they do, and they shouldn't.
Touching your buttons.
And they shouldn't. But the next thing after that, thirdly, secondly, I don't know how many y'all done said, is why did you pick her? Why did you pick an unhealed woman? Why did
Because
you pick a
healed-
Jezebel? Why did you pick a woman that's traumatized
Because
and
here's
don't know
the
how to
thing,
communicate?
and I think this
Why'd
is
you
the
pick
part
her?
that you're leaving
Still
out of
falls
the
on you.
equation.
I
This is
know
the
you
part I
did.
feel like you're leaving out of the equation when you make this statement.
Well, let's add it up.
It's the fact that you're leaving out the variable that the presentation is not always the same as the end result.
Which is what
Exactly.
Lisa
So,
actually
like, for
stated. But
example, I'll
here's
use
the issue.
I'll use
Most
hold
men
on, wait a minute.
are
Yeah,
picking
Let
women
him
due
do it.
to
you know, don't
physical
talk too
looks.
long.
So go
Let me
ahead.
finish it.
Go
Like,
ahead.
let's take for an example. Prior to before this show started, me and Lisa had a very interesting conversation.
Which we'll finish.
Okay. The thing about our conversation is I do not know anything about either one of the individuals we spoke on, so I can only go based off the notion of what she informed me in regards to it.
Mhm.
Therefore, we describe each one of them by zodiac signs.
Mhm.
We live in a day and age where just the simple fact of you saying that you are a Leo is a preconceived notion already blanketed on that individual. We
It
don't
is.
know this individual from a hole in the wall, but because your birthday is August 5th, we know everything about you in our mind already. You
That's a
can
lot of
say
that's
these
true.
little things like these things and be like, well, my sign says that because I'm a Sagittarius, is Geminis are automatically my compatible person. So because you're a Gemini, I'm going to come into this relationship open-minded. But if you happen to be, let's say, a Libra, I like you, we're going to see where it's going. But the minute you make me want to have to argue with you, I'm out the door. These are things that people walk into relationships with now because of preconceived notions of what is expected to happen.
You shouldn't
They're
walk into
not
a relationship
always-
based off of a zodiac sign, but go ahead.
But you're taking the fact that logic is not being used when it comes to dating this day and age.
Whose
Mhm.
fault is that, though?
It is not-
Logic should absolutely be
But
used
here's where
along
my
with a whole
point
bunch
is,
of other
though.
variables.
You cannot put the blame of why a situation is not workable on one individual.
But I
I
can.
absolutely.
That's the only thing I'm
100%
saying.
agree with that.
Everything you're
Most people
everybody
saying,
do.
plays their
I
part.
disagree.
everything makes sense, but to put the notion on one individual is literally taking liability off the other.
No, it's
As
not.
the woman-
No, it is not. The woman can still be held accountable for her actions.
But she
But
doesn't
at the
have
end
to
of the day, if
correct
you
her
go
action.
to a restaurant
Okay.
Okay, and your food is served to you incorrectly. Who do you go to? You go to the manager. It doesn't mean the waiter didn't put in the right order. They can still take accountability for that. It doesn't mean the chef didn't mess up. They can still take accountability for that. But at the end of the day, the person that is at the forefront, that is held responsible for the representation of that entire experience, is going to be the owner, the head person in charge.
But see, that's where the fault needs to lie.
And
Because yes, this restaurant, the
Oh,
owner could do
Jesus.
everything he's supposed to do. He can go from the beginning of the day that door opens to the day that closes, and he and or she can literally make sure every single customer is happy. And all of a sudden, that waiter accidentally put 2 forks on a table and ruined that whole experience for that one individual.
Mhm.
We cannot put the blame on the owner for something that's considered a simple mistake.
But it automatically,
that's
but
minor.
it automatically goes to the owner. Just look at Facebook and how when people go right after a restaurant based off of some service that had nothing to do with the owner, it had something to do with the service they received from somebody 5 levels below. That-
90% of people are going to agree with y'all. What y'all are hearing today is LaShelle's point of view.
No, we're not saying your point of view
No,
is
but
wrong.
95%.
as-
That's why I'm very cautious.
No,
with-
don't be cautious. It's your show. Say how you want to,
That's
how
true.
you want
It is
to.
my show.
I tell you that every single time before and after show.
Stand on it.
That literally is what I tell everybody who starts a new show. Stand on what you believe.
And that is truly what I believe.
You're not in.
Not saying that I'm not at fault for, things that may have happened in previous relationships. Not saying that I didn't have a part in that, but the holistic fault of the relationship not working, I have to put on the king.
And see, I can't do that.
If they were king.
Not necessarily because as a king myself, but as a king raising future queens, I can't do that. And the reason why I can't do that is because when we openly put the blame on the man at the end of the day, that woman can be held accountable in that moment for it not working, but she will never adjust her behaviors to make sure it's not the same in the next
And
relationship.
see, and no, you shouldn't be like raising a young lady to think that, you can do whatever you want and everything is going to be on the man.
But-
Not
but
saying
that's the
that.
way- that's
No,
the
it
way
is
that's the
not.
way
And it
your
shouldn't be
thought process can
it
be
shouldn't be
perceived.
received like that.
Yeah.
It should not be received like that. Okay. But I do believe because it's not received like how it should be, that's why men aren't walking in the light that they are supposed to be walking in. That's why, man, this pineapple is good, Jesus. That's why men aren't walking in the role that they were designed to walk in, that women would ultimately follow if they did.
So
It's too many men like that ain't my fault. You shouldn't even be worried
lot of
about
men
that.
don't
That shouldn't
even
even be
know
a
how to
concern.
I was going to
Right.
say that. See, the
a lot of
problem.
men don't even know how to lead.
That's
They
I,
ain't had
I
to
understand.
address
I
nobody.
understand.
That
your
needs
And
to
that
be
ain't his fault.
addressed.
But see, that's the
Is
thing.
it?
Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. You see, you have to
Jesus.
understand. And I'm gonna speak to this only
The
from.
For
tools
real.
are out there.
I'm only gonna speak to this from the Black experience because that's the only experiences I know.
Mhm.
We are the only culture
True.
collectively that does not have a rite of passage for neither our women
True.
or our men.
Yep.
You
Which is
have
how it
other
was set up to
cultures who
be.
have sweet
Mhm.
16s that are serious. You have quinceañeras. You have what's the bar mitzvah. Other cultures publicly have rites of passages of when this young man or young woman is now pronounced as an adult.
Mhm.
You know what we have? You're 18. Get out
So
my
cute.
house.
It's
So,
cute.
and then
we have cotillions and cotillions, but that's for the elite black.
but that's elite
Very
blacks.
elite.
Mhm.
You see, it's an
And
elite.
we talking
black.
about what's that,
You're-
like 5%? Top 5?
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on
just saying
now.
it's there.
Top 3?
It's there, but here and it's gate kept.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It's gate kept because
gatekept.
all those things that you actually described also could be, but they're not.
They're not, and that's part of the reason. So if we eliminate the fact of how the black
so
household
good.
has been destroyed and eliminate how mass incarceration of the black men is on the rise in regards
Say
to
it, brother.
you eliminate the single mother percentile
Mm.
has almost tripled in the last 20 years, which is when you see the biggest change in the power dynamic in the black household. If we take all
Well,
of that out the equation, this is not me saying you're wrong,
No.
because your thought process is phenomenal when you have those variables removed.
Why are you in a relationship if you're not even like
Be-
ready for that role?
'Cause that's
But-
normal-
but
'cause that's
this-
normal.
Normal.
That's normal.
This
Yeah.
is the problem. problem. Listen, y'all. Listen, Linda. Because because you can't.
I was like,
No, you cannot eliminate those facts and those variables. You have to bring those things up in order to get to the solution
but that's
for that
where I
for
was
our
going.
youth.
Right,
and
but
even
where
for
I was
our-
going with
our
that
adults.
is we
But go
need
ahead.
to reset the Black household.
Absolutely.
We need to get back to the
Absolutely.
point where both men and women, we need to bring back charm school. Sum it up in a nutshell.
I
We
agree
need
with
to bring
that.
back charm school, because when you look at today's representation of both our men and our women, a lot of them are not favorable. A lot of the behaviors that we see both from men and women are accepted to be those negative behaviors. Look at reality TV.
Oh,
Reality TV was
Tone.
born on the back of us acting a complete jerks.
Agreed.
Therefore,
Agreed.
people think that this toxic behavior is how relationships are supposed to be.
Agreed. I agree with you 100%, 1000%.
But
on
no,
that.
but
And
let me
that's how
finish.
we-
But let me finish.
Okay,
This
okay.
is the reason why your thought process, as phenomenal it is, it's flawed in today's society.
So I'm like,
Yeah, and you did this. If you wasn't saying that, you're not gonna like what I say.
no,
most
you're
of us would've
not.
left
'Cause
it alone.
I'm coming.
But
I'm coming, Tom.
no,
I'm telling
because of the fact that toxicity is starting to become the normality in regards to a relationship. If we take your
you.
thought
They've
process,
accepted that.
let
though,
me
because-
finish.
Go ahead.
I know you I know you want to. Let me finish. And yes, they have accepted that. That's why we're getting to. Because toxicity has become the normality of what relationship behaviors are starting to be, you have to put accountability on both. Because that man can do everything he's supposed to do, but that toxic, negative, petty, childish behaviors that woman will convey will continue to be that way, even if he takes ownership. Because
No, you're
once
fine,
he
you're good.
walks away from that relationship and we say this relationship ended because you left, guess what she'll keep doing? Being that toxic person. Having hot girl summers, being
Why are you
bad
with
bitches.
her? Why did you choose her?
Because that was told to me by society of what a
No.
normal relationship
No, it
should
wasn't.
be
A lot of
when
things
you're
were
in
told
that
to
age
you.
group.
You chose
I'm
to
gonna say
receive
this.
that. No,
I'm gonna say this.
Jesus.
This is why I didn't want to talk today.
No,
I'm gonna
I
say
definitely
this.
want you to talk today, but go
I'm gonna
ahead.
say this.
Then I'm gonna
As
chime
a
in.
woman
Go ahead.
that was raised by her father
Amen.
without my
Rest in peace,
mother,
King. Rest in peace, King.
to compare me to a man that was raised by his mother and without his father, baby.
Yeah.
For one, I'm being shown what a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what a man is supposed to do. So that's all I know.
Right.
That's all I know is what a man is supposed to do and what a man is supposed to
So
be.
when you're presented with a man that
That's
doesn't know
not-
how
it-
to live up to that because he was never
It's
shown
foreign
that.
to me.
Right.
But it took for me, as I evolved.
Mhm. Shout out to the evolution. Shout out to the movement, Jesus.
As I have evolved to understand that that's why it's not always their fault, because they didn't have that representation.
If we
and
keep saying that it's not their fault, they're never going to walk in the light that they're supposed to walk in as leaders, as men, and the women are not going to follow behind them
let me say
because
this,
we treat them as boys. No,
though. On the flip
hold
side,
them accountable in the light that they should be
I
held.
get what you're saying, but it's harder for our black men, though. It is. It really is.
Most
hard
of
for
our black men don't even see our black women as they should be viewed, and most because they see them as, you know, Tatianas and, you know, all this
But
other
look what they
stuff.
present themselves
And
as.
most of our women don't view our men as they should because they're too busy protecting themselves from them, and vice versa. Honestly, most of them are against each other instead of for each other.
Yeah.
There's no trust out here between the black men and the black woman for the majority.
Mhm.
That toxicity, absolutely, as Tone stated, has become the norm,
Yeah.
which it should not be. There's such a difference between a grown man and a negro.
It is. It is. But I'll also say this, like I was saying, on the flip side of that, because I grew up without my mother, you would think, oh, well, then how did you learn to become a good woman? But that's also because I also had good women in my life to
Right.
look up to and see what a
So
good
what-
woman is supposed to be.
What would be
But
y'all
these men
advice?
don't even
What
have
would
that.
be y'all
We need more
advice? Because I'm
mentors.
okay. There we go. We
We
don't talk
need
about the
more
problems without
mentors.
speaking about the solutions, because I feel like there will be. I'm all for all of us becoming the absolute best versions of ourselves so that we can have more come together and have more beautiful families and all that good stuff, right? But you said we need more mentors.
We do.
Okay.
And not even, I'm talking about, and there are grown men that could use a mentor.
Right.
Grown men that could use a mentor.
But there's this thing called ego, and men don't want to listen to other men. But that's the only way, in all honesty, that they're going to, raise up to the level that we as women need them to be at in order to view them as we should view them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been talking about so many different times on the show, holding each other accountable and correcting each other privately.
Because one thing I will say about women,
Men and
us as women, like it's me and you.
We always do.
I'll be like, sis, now come on now. She don't be want to hear what I got to say.
I always want to hear what you got to say.
Like, oh my God.
I always want to hear. And what I respect about her is she always do it privately.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm like, no, because you can't think of it that way because this, I'm definitely the person that's gonna look at it from all sides.
Right. And we can get into these questions too, y'all. But at the end of the day, I believe if the men walked in a light that they were designed to walk in, the women would follow. That is my personal opinion. Yes, we absolutely do need mentors. Yes, everyone should be held accountable. Don't be playing no games. Every time I say that, he do like this to try to get on the mic. Everyone should be held accountable for their actions. But to me, the men are the leader. Don't listen. Men want to be viewed as a leader, but they don't want to take on the role.
Okay,
now, that's true.
I agree with you.
I will say that that's true.
But let's get into these questions.
Let me just say this, and this is not going. This is not going to be 10. It'll probably be about 2 minutes. It's actually agreeing with you. Yes, men do need to be leaders, but we also do collectively together as a community need to come up with more public expressions of giving men the ability to learn how to be leaders.
I agree with that.
We wake up every single day and women have some kind of brunching, some kind of event, some kind of pop-up, something that's always empowering women on a day-to-day basis. We need more of those kind of things for men. And yes, in the beginning, you may get one or you may get 2 guys that show up. I need people who come up with these ideas to not be discouraged when the numbers are not there in the beginning.
The problem is with everything, like we can sit here and debate all day of who the greatest rapper alive is or who the best producer
Tupac.
is.
What do you mean?
See what I'm saying? There's so much objective criteria, but the subjectivity of it is overwhelming. There's no objectivity of what the man is supposed to do. There's no objectivity over the women. There's all over the place the subjectivity based off of what you need. So there's a man out there who picks a person. You ask why did they stay with him? Because they picked a person who likes them. So if I like, if you like, I know that's not
picking people
but I'm saying that's what happens for the most part, because if I like you and I like the way you look, I'm going to create the necessity of what I think you should be. That is, but that's the norm. That's probably more. That's probably more norm. That's probably more normal than anything. You work it down to the basics. Right. Your exterior and what I think you are. I will create in my head what I want you to be and think what you're supposed to be.
Allowing time.
Yes. So that whole being
where a lot of these traumas.
Right,
but universal.
But the whole concept of what I want my man to be, what's masculinity, I might not fit that. I might not fit that at all. But because I don't fit that,
you should fit it for your partner.
I fit it for myself and I fit for my partner. But if it's not enough for that partner will make me feel less than because I'm not meeting that standard. And that's the part. That's the part that's not very honest. We're not honest with that. There's no honesty in that part. Right. We will actually go through the toxicity. Right. Because we think that's the norm to try to make something work that shouldn't work, and that's where we are. I mean, you just how long did you make yours work?
Let's pause right here.
10 years.
No, I need
13 years
that's
of
why
me.
I said we gonna pause right here. Let Tommy get out what he got to get out.
I'm just saying, like there's some bare minimum stuff that we're missing because we're saying all this high level stuff, but there's some, some honesty that hey, I'm picked somebody that was cute.
That's what
I picked somebody that was cute and had a good job.
That's what I keep
That's what you're trained to do.
No, you should.
That they should is a big ass word. Should is a big word.
When it blows up in your face, you are held responsible for your choice making. You
So
made the
what? So
decision
what
to-
happened back in the
you
days?
made the decision to be with somebody for
What-
You might as well forget the question.
for just like
You're right.
for
What
physical
happened back in
traits.
the day when people was like picking your mate for you? What did they pick it based off of?
Right.
The criteria was all the same criteria that
Yes.
we
We
actually
are
go out.
not- No,
What's- I'm
we're
saying-
not pairing marriages.
I know, but that's a
okay.
learned behavior. Like, what are the standards? Good job, handsome.
Those aren't my standards. None of those are my.
You
standards.
gonna date an ugly nigga?
They're not ugly to me, but
Girl.
some of the people I dated may have been ugly to y'all.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever.
He's attractive
But
to you.
to
you
me,
get what I'm saying?
exactly. But no, what do I look for in a mate? Let's go over that part. What do I look for?
What do you look for?
Somebody that feeds
God-fearing.
my spirit.
Mhm.
Somebody
But how
that
does
feeds
he
my
get
spirit good
in the
things.
space to even feed your spirit.
Conversation.
Because let's just be 100
Conversation.
here.
Me
No, forget
viewing
that.
him as a quality of a man. Yes. No, go ahead. Be 100. Don't me sister.
No, I'm
go
saying
ahead.
like yes. After
you
you
do know me, but
right,
go
I'm saying
ahead.
after you've had a conversation with him, but
But before you had the
before
conversation,
you gotta have. It has to be something about that person that's gonna even let you.
why are we acting
Sister.
like that's not like a criteria?
Sister,
Why,
you
why,
know the people that I have dated.
but why are we acting like that's not criteria
But
though?
not all of them are not
I know.
attractive.
Basically, she telling you some of them niggas was ugly. And some of them was good. And you gotta think for yourself because he might feed your spirit, but you can't take him out in public.
No,
So-
see, I don't look at
And
the
I
physical.
forget
I don't
that. I
look
done
at
got to the point
physical.
where I'm like, I ain't settling.
I look at the
Just 'cause it's
physical
nice.
in a sense.
I need to
Do
look
you
at
take
you.
care of yourself? I do look at the physical in that
Yes.
sense, but even like a teddy bear, I would date a teddy bear, heavy man. If God told me that was my husband, and we gonna walk together, we gonna anybody got
I'm a
time?
teddy bear.
We gonna
I'm a
we
teddy
gonna
bear.
walk together, but I need my husband.
You had somebody who come down here and she smelled amazing. That smell
out
by
to Kenda.
yeah, she
Shout out
smelled
to
amazing.
Kenda.
I started looking at her different because she smelled amazing.
Just
That's
like you did
it
the woman
starts.
up there,
what
upstairs. for
it's
her
their
conversation.
characteristics that I am drawn to.
But I need you to look at it in a more holistic.
But it has to
value.
start
You gotta-
somewhere.
You have
And
to
it
have
has
some
to
sort of
start somewhere.
attraction.
You have to.
You ain't just walking down the
I
street and
agree
somebody
with that,
gonna
but
just feel
my
you spiritually
attraction-
off the concept.
My
You're
attraction
not
is not gonna be
podcasting
physical.
properly. You gotta let her talk.
But that thing that sparks me, and you know this, sister. That thing that sparks me, it's not gonna be how much money you make. It's not gonna be how you look. It's gonna be you teaching me something. It's
Right,
gonna
but
Can I have a
be
strawberry?
When we're
speaking
saying that,
to
go
my
ahead,
spirit.
I
What
like
we're
how
saying
nobody
is-
thinks about me over
Well,
here.
I always
saying
get
is
you
that there's an
something.
initial
Chocolate
attraction.
strawberries. Some.
There has to
New
be an
friend.
initial
There has to be.
But my
You
attraction
friend.
is
Can
to
you
him
pour me a cup of
spiritually.
tea?
I'm telling
No,
y'all. That's
no.
what it is. I'm telling y'all. Like
If that was the case,
telling
if that
you.
was the case, the minute we met, that would have been a connection.
there was a connection.
I know,
The
but that-
first time I saw you,
It was kind of like I thought I knew who you were, and there was a connection. If that was the case, that would have been a connection. We have a connection, but it's not a dating connection.
No, it's not a dating. I would have dated you, but I would have dated you, but I'm looking for my I'm looking for my husband.
But-
I'm
Okay.
looking for my
Stop,
husband.
stop,
You gotta
wait.
date your
I'm waiting
husband.
for
Wait a
my
minute.
husband.
Now-
I'm waiting for
now-
my husband.
Now, this
I'm
brings up a
waiting
good
for my
point.
husband.
This brings up a good point. He's attractive to you.
Yeah,
He has great conversation because since you've been potting, you guys have definitely
but
learned
we
a lot
don't
about.
line up
But
on a.
what?
I think all the way
But
every
here's
level.
but here's one thing I noticed
And I would
about
probably get
you.
on
Because this is in this frame.
But here's one thing I noticed about you that you do often. You put up walls and barriers
Ooh,
before
did he
you
read
allow.
Did he read? Did he read me a little bit?
Sure did.
And I've told you this
I've
before.
told her that too. Okay.
You put up walls
Sure
and
did.
barriers that sometimes you block your blessing before you give it an opportunity.
No,
to
I'm
grow.
not.
Ooh,
I've just been
sis.
through too much. No, I've been through too much trauma that I'm at a point where I can want. Who is you clapping for,
Because
yo?
that was a read.
That I'm at a point where I don't need to necessarily. I don't need to put myself in a position to go through nothing else.
Okay.
So I want
pause right there.
everything to line up.
Pause
I'm
right
not
there.
dating nobody.
Everything
No,
is
no,
gonna be
no, no,
perfect.
no,
I'm not
no,
dating
no,
nobody else.
no, no. I got
Everything
this.
is gonna
I
be
got this.
perfect.
I got this.
It's not gonna be
Pause.
perfect.
Let's do a quick call back.
Mm.
You dated an individual before because when you first started the
But
show,
the one
you were
that
talking to a young man.
sleeping with
Mhm.
all the married women.
When me and you spoke during the time frame of the whole
and I was being
relationship,
impatient. That's the only reason.
you
I
were
didn't.
exactly. So at that point in time, regardless of whatever he did, because of your point of impatience or your lack of waiting to see if this
I
really
should've
can
waited.
transgress it, is that still his fault?
Absolutely. He was sleeping with married women. Absolutely his fault.
But before you found that
it's his
out.
Before
fault.
you fall
Before
that
you
out.
found that out, though.
So I take accountability for not listening to God. Okay. That was, I take accountability for that. But as far as the relationship not working out, he wasn't walking in the proper light that he's supposed to be walking in as a man who wants to be in a relationship with a woman.
Okay,
He
Lachelle.
wasn't.
That
He was one
sounds-
of
that
these
sounds wonderful.
attention-seeking men that we had talked about who, loves the love from other ladies on the internet and, not able to like let that go. Or he was
That's
one of
great.
those men.
That's great. But
But
we can all
yes.
use that cop out. Well, I didn't listen to God. We can all use that. We can all say that I didn't listen to God.
Well, we should start listening to God.
I understand that, but that
Just
means
start listening.
who
And then let's get in position to be able to hear God. How about that?
okay. Yeah,
That's
sorry,
why I
that's
didn't
right.
want
That was the second greatest Euro step in history.
She was like,
That was the second greatest Euro stepping.
Okay, let me ask
That's
my
the one I got to
question.
give you credit. You have been Euro stepping on your shows a lot lately.
I like it though. I like it.
It literally is starting to become the theme of your show.
I like it because it actually adds usually you have a guest on that actually adds this conflict, but you are the conflict.
You are your
I
own
am
conflict.
Not the conflict in a negative
Not
way,
like
but
a
you
negative conflict.
you'll stand on what you stand on and actually have people kind of
Yes.
debate you, and that's actually
Oh,
that's
yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's what we're talking about.
that's good. That's
This-
good banter.
Okay, since we're
Stand
here,
on your
I like
stuff.
to tell you in the moment. This is the
Jesus.
reason why we don't have conversation after the show no more, because you're already blossoming into a great show.
Aw, flowers. Thank you. I could tell.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Wait.
Okay, so but
That's
can
I
I
did that for you.
I appreciate that. I told you we were gonna see some growth.
It's some growth.
I
But
told you
there
that's some
there is a perspective of what a man is supposed to be from women that is different from woman to woman, that makes it a crapshoot on how we can actually date.
We can agree to
Yeah.
that.
Now
Okay.
we go to the question.
Okay,
Now
because
we
we
go to
can
the
agree to
question.
that. Okay, so got some good ones. First one, I used to be a woman, and this is how.
You're a man now?
Whoa, whoa. This is not how you come out.
Oh,
to us. It's
I used
pause.
I don't want to date you.
Right, I
really,
would
I
get on your
mean.
nerves, honey. I would get on your nerves.
No, you wouldn't.
I would. I promise you.
Maybe.
Another
But
thing
in a
you
healthy
do
way.
if you do that.
I would though. I
You do
would
that as well,
in a healthy
too.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Plus I've already paired you on a date, but let's keep going.
let's
So
not talk about that.
I used to be that woman that would just date for love. I didn't look at, his finances necessarily. I didn't look at if he was a man
Oh, I
that was
know
going to
this question about
protect
you.
me. I didn't look at all these other layers that me, the woman that I am now, I do look at holistically as I should, especially a woman that's a mom. So my question to y'all from a male perspective and a woman's perspective, which is probably different, is love enough?
No.
Dang.
No.
No,
not at all.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Love is definitely
And I
not
used
enough.
to be the woman that was like, oh, we'll work
No.
everything else
Mm-mm.
out. But no.
No, because I could love you. I can really love you, and you can really, really love me, but we homeless.
I was gonna say my grandma
No.
said one time, and it
No.
stuck with me.
And I'm
Love
not cool with that.
don't keep these lights on.
Love don't pay no bills, baby.
I'm going to be against the grain. Do you say no?
I said no. I used to say yes, but I say no now.
You say no?
But I think
I say
it's
no.
different for men and women.
Yeah, but-
I'm
but Tone
surprised
said
that
no,
he
too.
said-
I say no.
No, it's not.
It's not because
Because
statistically, when you
Mhm.
look at, and this is not just only black people, just statistically, period, out of 75% of all divorces that have ever happened have been over finances.
you better say it.
And I don't mean finances in the regard to the fact that he made $2.5 million and you get nothing. Woo. They don't want me to talk to that.
Yes, we do. Come on with it.
It's because the lack of. There are so many relationships where people are struggling
Mhm.
financially And it's because one of the two individuals are not managing their money properly. There should be no reason, for an example, a man to go out here and earn all the money in the household and you fuck it off.
Nope.
You can't ask for the 80 from
And tell me
me.
that that's his fault.
I've never
No,
done
I'm
that.
just saying.
But it's his fault for choosing a woman like that. She didn't give you no red flags that she was going to be irresponsible with her finances. Y'all
We
didn't have
both
no
started
type of
broke. How are we
conversations?
supposed to know? You have to understand, we both started broke. And now I'm elevating and making more money, but you're spending.
Why aren't you teach her? Why aren't you educate her?
Taking consideration in the Black community that majority of
Oh,
us does
Lord.
not know about finances
Agreed.
until after we're already in debt.
Mm-hmm.
It's your job to lead your family, though. When are y'all going to learn that? Or is y'all just going to always blame it on our ancestors and what they've gone through?
When we didn't know what money and credit was, can we really be the one to lead a household if we don't know
I
what credit
agree
is?
with that.
Because
but
my-
at what
my
point do
family
we
up
implement
until
the
me,
change?
Until me, my family was always a don't owe nobody nothing.
My grandma-
If you can't pay for it in cash, you're not supposed to have it.
Right.
And yet we live in a world where being $10,000 in debt will get you anything.
Right. My grandma's the same way. She thinks
I'm gonna
credit cards
challenge
is
y'all
the
on this.
enemy.
True, authentic love will make sure all that stuff is not an
I thought
issue.
that initially, but
N-
now
no. True, authentic love between both people with a chemistry of recognizing that I am not going to let my person down. I'm going to do everything I can to actually make sure that she is okay. There's a love out there that is that, and I think I've experienced it to a point where like nothing I do is going to hurt that person.
I believe that's beautiful on the male side. Me having that perception on the woman side kept introducing me to men who were complacent
Mhm.
and were okay with me being the head of the household, which cannot be. A lot of times women, especially the good women, and I hate saying good women,
Mhm.
but that's what it is. A lot of times the good women are trying to prove to these men out here that they're not with them for monetary reasons.
Mhm.
And we shouldn't have to do that. You
But
know,
at the same
because
time, there's
the
also
ones
these
that-
women that
and,
lead
and
with
you
pay
about to say it.
me money first, and then I'll give you the attention.
And then you have these women out here that are give me the,
Exactly.
but they're the ones
And we
that
are
they're the
not
ones that
those
get the
women.
good men. They're the ones that get
They
Because-
taken
get, they
care
get
of.
the men that they get. Yes, they do
They
get
get-
kept, but those type
No,
of
not
men.
necessarily.
They don't get kept, but they get the good men that then ruin the good men that turn those good men into assholes, which then you end up running into them. And then
And
you
by
get
the time we
negativity.
get to them,
They're
yes,
damaged.
that's true.
They're damaged.
That is so
Because this
true.
is girl, this lady.
That's so
on
true. I'm not gonna
Instagram,
take your money.
TikTok,
I'm gonna help you.
Her
man.
name is Shira something, and her little thing is sprinkle, and she'll sit up there, and
I love it.
I'm talking about the way that we think we would be considered a pick me.
That's what they called me.
You would be considered a pick me, and
Not
you know
knowing that-
you have to like literally.
Jesus.
You have to have money in order to talk to me. And if you don't have any money, you can't talk to me at all.
And I definitely will not
get
go.
it.
I will not go out and I won't actively date if I don't have the finances
I feel
because of
like
that.
we can make it together. Like I'm not a woman that asks for anything that I can't give. So if
but you
we're on
have
an
women
equal
out here
level,
looking for six figures and they make
exactly,
$20,000
and that's
a year,
not
and
cool.
that's what I mean.
That is not cool
Not
in
even
any
making
way,
that.
shape, or form.
That's a whole nother conversation.
That is another conversation. But apparently,
But there's a lot of women like that out
There's
there.
a whole bunch of women like that, and those are, like Tone said, those are the women that cause our men to be more cautious about
Mhm.
really good women. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
So,
Which it shouldn't be.
Love is not enough to y'all. I think love can be enough.
For men,
No, period. I think
Period.
love can be enough. It can be.
it has
There's a
to be
possibility.
like a pure love. And,
Because you
and
said it
not
has to be, that
just-
means there's a possibility.
it has to be. Well, that was my foundation. I was that woman.
And you're waiting out for that same.
It has to be a pure love.
So you
but
believe it.
also, But I need us to be equally yoked in other facets.
Love is so forgiving that in an instance where things are not working, you will be there to actually help, and they reciprocate. it.
Exactly.
So
that
so it's
also goes
that
possible.
is real love.
That love
Yes.
isn't enough. it's not just the love. There's love. There's the financial piece.
Because he
You know
can
what I
love
mean?
you
But that
forever,
understand
but
that's there too though. All that stuff is
if
all
you
encompassing.
love you enough, then you'll be willing to put in the work to
Stability is
to
very-
provide
Right,
as
because
well.
it's the season.
Okay.
It's your season to help and support.
'Cause
It's
if
my
he's
season. It's
complacent,
gonna be.
like, does
It's
he
a
really- is
season.
it really
It's like
love?
depression. People talk about depression. Depression is not something that is your life. It's a state. You're in a state in a moment. If there's a financial downgrade and that person is not doing anything to do anything, he doesn't love you enough to actually recognize that you're working really hard.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with
So,
that.
but if I am like right now, I'm like, man, my financial status is right here. I'm dating this person is right there, and she's offering. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this because
Right.
I need to be doing this for you.
Right.
And they're just pushing it. What happens to the man? Well, shit, if you're gonna give it to me, shit, I'm
Exactly,
good.
Which is why a lot of men are out here like that, looking for mothers.
Mhm,
And
all
swear that they
good
don't
stuff.
want a mother,
But
they
after,
want
you
a
know
mother.
what? If it starts to come, so you come home, you got gifts and stuff. You're like, well, I ain't got to do nothing. I just
Exactly.
all right. Well,
And
let's keep on
usually
doing
those
that.
women are women that just want a body next to
But
them.
that works my conscience. I was like, I just stop. Can you just stop? Because I can't
you
do
have
that.
No, don't tell her to stop, but reciprocate.
Right. But
Yeah.
if I'm
I
unable
understand
to,
that.
it's kind of like I feel
And it's
obligated. Then
temporary.
all of a sudden you're obligated to do it. You're doing off a tit for tat. It's not out of love, and it becomes some other thing. That's
I
when
get
where
that.
that's where stuff gets
I
convoluted.
get that. So next question, I'm gonna ask Lisa this because this was a question. This is all designed for the ladies. Okay.
I just kind of
already
commandeered.
know-
I commandeered the microphone here.
I know.
Oh, you
know-
invited me though, just to make sure that I was invited. I wasn't.
I know what y'all answer is going to be as men, but let's see. So I asked the men on the last panel if they would say if their woman cheated on them, right? And they said typically the woman stayed with them if they cheated, but if she cheated, they're not set up the same way and they would not stay. So I want to ask you, beautiful Lisa. I'm gonna ask you as well. Actually, let's start with the king. If your woman cheated on you, would you stay? Tone, would you stay?
I have.
You have stayed?
Yeah.
Did you cheat too?
No.
You didn't cheat
Yeah.
and you stayed?
Get your look back.
What'd you say, Lisa? Say it on the mic.
I asked him if he got his lick back.
No.
Here's the reason why. And it kind of will go back to.
Don't get Charlie.
You're not on the microphone, sir.
I know.
I was just being funny.
Excuse me. Currently, I wasn't on the microphone. The producer told me to go talk to the microphone.
The sidebar
Yeah.
producer here.
I did, and I stayed. And the reason why was because I actually, just going back to something you said earlier, I wasn't doing my part. I wasn't
That's what
I wasn't focusing on her. I have a tendency of getting really engulfed in my next projects or my work or my next accomplishment or my next achievement. I get really engulfed in those things. And over time, I tend to kind of push people away. Like, if you ain't got no time for me, I'm not going to stay around and deal with you. This particular one, who thought that we were officially over because I was brushing her off on stuff and I was canceling, dates and things like that because I was engulfed in whatever project that I was working on at that point in time, to the point that she did go out on a date with somebody and that individual showed her just enough attention that she was like, oh, well, I'm missing this, and she gave it up. So a few days later, she came back, she told me, and instead of me being like, how could you, I really sat down and reevaluated how did we get here. I think I just got out of a psychology class because she told me when we were at school, because we were in school together.
She told you?
Yeah. Because she felt guilty about what she did.
She a gangster.
She didn't.
But I like that she did.
No,
tell
she
you, though.
felt
I
guilty
can
about what
respect that.
she felt guilty
can
about
respect
what
that.
she did.
She held
Hence
accountability.
for why
Yeah,
she
I
came and
respect
told me,
that.
which is what I had told her. I was like, the fact that you were woman enough to come and tell me this because of this reason, now you're giving me the opportunity to decide if I want to be out or not.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? That's a rare thing to find.
Mhm.
So we ended up staying together. I didn't get my lick back. I just stepped up and was like, okay, cool. Because I know in the past, I've definitely stepped out on plenty women.
Did you change your behavior in that relationship?
Yes.
Okay.
I dialed it back a little bit of being focused on other stuff, or even more importantly, include her in the stuff that I was doing.
That's
Because
good.
some of the things I was doing, she just wanted to be in the room where it happened. I didn't have to just stop and like, hey, are you okay? No, she's a simple fact that if we in the same space and she's watching her man create, that was a turn on to her.
Mhm.
You know, like
It
how
really
women
is.
love seeing y'all man around the house
Ooh.
fixing something.
Mhm.
It was kind of like the same thing. I was more with my brain, but then she's seeing me create and dissect and come up with these ideas and make these beats or whatever I was doing at the time. The fact that she seen something come into light and she was there when it happened, that was a turn on for her.
Yeah.
So the simple fact that I was literally leaving her out of this equation made her feel unvalued.
Mhm.
So after realizing where I fucked up at, and I literally have to say it like that, is when it made me like, you know what, let me appreciate you even more. And we were good.
Right.
We were good. So
Okay.
yeah, I stay. I'll be
Alright.
first to admit it. Yeah. I stay.
That is a rare occasion, but I do love that he accepted accountability for how it came about for the neglect in a relationship. I also love that she took accountability for those actions, because I don't believe that at any point in time it's okay to cheat. I don't believe that at all. I've never cheated. I'm not going to cheat. And I'm not staying if you do.
I'm not gonna say that. I've cheated before, and
So would you stay?
You on my side?
So would you stay?
We gonna
no.
fight. We gonna fight.
So would you stay?
Technically, no.
Was you sad that somebody cheated
That's
on you?
why I'm gonna fight. Because I know how he feels.
But he didn't know.
Oh my
We definitely gonna
lord!
fight.
No, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. I never actually cheated, like actually while we were together. Now, you know how you have those little breakup points, like
Okay.
you broke up and then y'all,
That's
but y'all
different.
wasn't really together, but y'all was still together. You know what I mean?
So as a woman, if you're cheated on, would you stay?
It
And you find
depends
out
on the
about it.
situation.
Okay.
Honestly, it really depends.
Let me ask you a question.
Where are you not on the mic?
He's not on the mic.
Go get the mic.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
Ask the question
would
on the
you
mic.
accept, you're on a break.
Mhm.
Would you accept the breakup, baby?
I wouldn't have a choice. If I'm taking him back, I would have no choice.
You would accept the breakup, baby?
I mean, I wouldn't want to, but at the
Right.
same
Oh
time, if I
my.
decided to take him back,
I
and-
like you on the buttons.
you know what I mean? If I decided to take him back, I mean, I have
This
no
is
choice.
such a pure-hearted woman, yo.
Would you accept the breakup,
I wouldn't
baby?
accept.
I would be salty.
I wouldn't accept cheating. I wouldn't accept the
it's a-
breakup,
It's
baby.
a breakup. Y'all were
I
broke
wouldn't
up.
accept. I wouldn't accept not a nothing, none of that. I'm not accepting any of that, and I ain't got
But
to.
you broke
I
up.
don't have to. There's too many people in this world. I
She's
don't have to.
Shessa. Is it Shessa
No.
vibe? She's a vibe.
She's a vibe.
She's a
She's a
vibe.
vibe.
That's tough. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
enough
tough
for
one.
me.
But you know what? The love.
Would
The-
you accept somebody, Tommy? Go ahead.
I possibly could. I'm gonna go with what you said. It kind of depends
On the situation.
on the situation, but I know for
Yeah.
a fact that I am a heavy lover. Like
Yeah.
I would,
He's
I
a
would
Cancer.
I'll be out
Oh,
if I
yeah.
right. I'm if I say I am in love with you, I am in love with you, and you might
Yes.
come to me with anything. I'm like, all right, so let's try to figure this
Let's
out.
try to figure it
Let's
out.
try to figure this
My
out.
most toxic relationships, Cancer, Scorpio.
Damn. But and that's only because I like I said, I was like, so what did I do that made this happen? Like what accountability do I
like,
hold?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
I'm
what can I
talking
do?
about, accountability.
So if it's something that I did do, the door's not closed. Accepting a baby, whole nother conversation. I
And that's
don't.
going to be harder for a man to
Yeah.
accept the breakup baby
Yeah.
versus a woman accepting the breakup baby. Because I would say for men, from what I understand about men, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or not, but from what I understand about men, they can just have sex and not have any emotions attached to it. And it's just that. I've done it before, you know,
Mhm.
where it was like there was really no emotions attached to it. It was just this is what we're doing.
Mhm.
So that's why, yes, I could accept the breakup, baby, because just because he had sex and whatever, like that doesn't mean that he was in love with her, and that's the reason why.
Why
they
is it?
made
Why?
this
I mean,
beautiful baby.
is where did that become like the standard of like the ultimate like disrespect the sex? Like
Betrayal.
is it why is that the ultimate betrayal? Yeah, why is that the ultimate betrayal? Because
know, 'cause
anything
you know what?
stuff that leads up to it is just as toxic and that's just as bad.
Oh, yeah. Because I mean, to me, I would much rather my man cheat on me by just having sex with a random,
as opposed to having a
an
long,
emotional connection with somebody else.
It's a no for me.
Go bust her
any
down if
type
that's
of
what it is, but
disrespect.
don't go falling in love with her and
And
having
see,
extra conversations
I
and
need to
confiding
be
in her. No,
Yeah.
where I am in my life right now. I need to be with a man that's very disciplined in every way, shape, or in form. I need him to be disciplined in his flesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Know your limit when it comes to alcohol use. Not just, engage in, sexual activities because it's available, to you.
yeah.
No, absolutely grown. You're too
yeah,
old for that.
I agree. I
You are
would
too
definitely
old
prefer
for that. Exactly. And
Yes.
so I'm not gonna just be in a I'm not gonna be in a space where I allow anything else. Not no more.
Now,
No,
let's
I can't
let's
do
take
it.
this. Let's
And
take
guess
this.
what?
This
We ain't got
question a different way.
Okay.
What if you're the person that's like withholding? Because I've heard this too. Like,
I'm not withholding from my husband. Go ahead.
But there are women that will.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should
Should
not
not.
withhold from your husband.
Should not.
But that also should not be an excuse for him to go elsewhere either.
I mean,
It should not be an
it's a
excuse for him
thin
to go
line
elsewhere.
because he's human. And
He is
all
human. Well, then make the
humans.
necessary steps to part ways completely. Don't
I'm gonna
just
say this because I've had that situation. I'm not talking about my sage. I'm talking about in another like.
That's why Tone needs to be on camera so y'all can see these facial expressions in the conversation between them.
But I'm talking about in a previous relationship where I wasn't getting what I needed physically in the relationship.
That's
May
a
have
bummer.
been getting what I wanted, emotionally and financially, but I wasn't getting what I wanted physically.
I need everything.
And yeah,
That's chemistry. I
everything.
think we all
My husband.
we overlook. I mean, we all this stuff we're talking about with love and all this stuff. You can love somebody and not have the chemistry that makes that be the magnet. And I think that's that's what it's called an intangible. That's an intangible that nobody really talks about. You all have this like magnetic personality that attracts someone else, and it's always there, and everything else kind of falls into place. Sometimes we kind of just say it's infatuation, but that's actually something that's a very positive energy that if you're attracted to the outer core of all the expectations that you want from a man, but you kind of just like, all right, well, sexually it's okay. That's just like he doesn't make enough money. It's like one piece that's not keeping you
Everything needs
keeping
to
track.
be in alignment.
Yeah, everything has and it's very rare. It's very rare that happens.
Yeah, it's rare that you're.
Is it rare that it happens, or is it rare that we have enough patience to wait for it to happen?
I think it's
just-
automatic.
sometimes it just ain't there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
In the moments that I've
I'm
had that attraction,
sorry.
it has something that it has happened from the get-go. It's like something about this situation is right. And that keeps you in there to find out if I'm going to be patient. Should I be patient? I'm going to be patient because it's worth being patient for.
God is not going to lead you to someone that doesn't line up with you. The problem is we keep being impatient and
You're
just
right.
picking
I
people
agree with
to
that.
have that body there, picking people.
We
that
use our
can help
brain.
pay
We use our
bills,
brain too
picking
much.
people.
We use too much
Exactly.
logic in a lot of
Instead
stuff.
actually waiting for someone who fits your life and fits where your life is going, which is what I'm doing. God told me to wait, so I'm waiting for the person that perfectly lines up with God's will for my life. I don't need just a man. I don't need just a husband. I don't need a partner to sleep with. I don't need none of that. I'll be A-okay by myself at night. Amen.
Okay, so let's say this. Let's take this into consideration. Let's just say you have the man. He's a godly man.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's manifest it.
Okay.
Okay, what else is he?
Come on.
Godly man.
Mhm.
What?
Well, I'm getting there. He's godly. He's God fearing. Treats you like a queen.
Yes, Lord. Requirements,
He,
Jesus.
he's giving you all of the emotions and everything.
He's
that you
attentive,
want.
sister.
He's attentive.
Oh, I love it.
You're
He might-
getting
he
gonna
might-
study
all
with
of
me.
those
He might be a
things.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Anybody got time?
I'm talking about he's very chivalrous. He's opening up doors. He's giving you flowers.
Good
just on a
example
weekly
for my son.
basis. He's a great
Okay.
dad.
We love
He's
it.
financially
We studying our Bible
stable.
together.
Yeah, y'all standing. Y'all. So
Oh,
he's God
okay.
fearing.
We working out
He
together.
is all that, girl. He
Okay.
has a
All right.
body.
Oh, he
he-
gotta have bodies.
he
He
got
got
a
work out
body.
together.
Y'all work out. But I'm
Yeah.
saying he's physically fit.
Okay.
He got all that going
All right.
on.
Okay. Because he
baby.
could be a type though.
He got all that going on.
All right.
And then you finally decide to have sex with him.
Oh no. I see where this is going. Okay. So
You finally.
I'm at a point where we're not even doing
all-
that. So if
but-
I waited to marriage, if I did
Right,
make
I
it
would
to
never.
marriage, but
I
that's
would
that's
never,
what you're
and that's
saying
why.
right now.
And that's why I would
So
because I would be
I am someone.
depressed.
I'm someone. I'm
No.
someone that when I first started to drive my car, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing or how to do it, but over time I learned to.
But sometimes the equipment is not there.
Well, are we gonna be real honest right now?
And
Are
I'm
we
talking
gonna
about-
be super honest right now? Because I can be honest right now. I can't believe I'm saying this on here. I only like smaller.
Okay, but it can be smaller. But I'm talking
I don't
about,
like
no, because
nothing.
baby, there are babies, and I mean babies.
oh
out here.
I
I
don't know.
mean a baby.
I've never experienced that, but but just like my preference is smaller.
I've never experienced
My preference is
that.
smaller. I would stay away from anything else.
But you found
but
out
he
you
has
found out the
everything.
wedding night.
We gonna work it. We gonna work it out.
You gonna cheat?
If God is in it, then He knows.
Oh,
Look,
thanks, y'all.
Look,
I'm
keep-
just
If God
saying.
is in it, He
Look,
knows.
keep my
It's gonna
number,
work out. I don't like anything that's no.
I'm
it's
talking
not.
Yeah.
about, and not only that's that, he also he a baby, and he don't know.
I'm mad
what
at you.
he's
This
doing.
is gonna. I feel like this is gonna go elsewhere. He's a baby. I feel like that is gonna be like a saying, like "Sissy a baby."
Mhm.
But-
It is a saying already.
Is it? I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
baby,
Oh, okay.
toddler, not even toddler,
Oh,
newborn.
That's real.
Real.
sometimes you just gotta pray for people.
Sometimes it's newborn.
There's nothing you
There's
can
sometimes
do.
something happened in their life. That's sad.
But no,
I'm
I feel
scared.
like everybody.
And then
it,
it
but
was
it's
10
not. They
seconds.
say it's not
So-
the motion of the ocean. It's the motion of the
possible.
ocean,
And
not
what did
the
I just say?
size of the boat.
Because
It
It
gotta
didn't-
be.
no, because the rocket went off before you even got started. Really.
Oh, my.
Oh,
Yeah, the tough thing about it is
no.
as
Well,
you know
we'll
what
talk
you
about
know
it
you
later.
know. I mean,
didn't say I need it all.
and I've had this
I do
conversation.
need it all.
I don't
feel
know.
like,
I don't know exactly the age range we're
talk.
talking here, but there
We're
was a
upper 30s, lower 40s.
there's a stage in life where people were having sex and that's all they were doing. It was just having sex.
It's a
We
no for
don't
me.
really not. I mean, not saying this
Oh,
casually,
just a
but when you
stage.
were having sex,
Oh,
that's all that's what it was. It's like there was not a lot of
There was not a lot of emotion.
there
I
not
can't-
there were
I
not a lot of
can't
experience. You didn't have the
understand.
experience of thinking about the
my
other
heart is
person.
always gonna be in it.
I know, but that's a whole other thing. But
Okay,
the man having the wherewithal to understand that I have a job and I'm going to please you. That comes with experience.
Yeah.
That comes with a lot of experience. Because before it's like, you know,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna-
we too old to be with somebody without no experience.
but I
love.
mean, but even that, but there's still a lot of people out here who's out there. Their experience is to get off for themselves as much as fast as they can, or was whenever, and then disregard who you're with. Like it should be a
So
a-
I'm a woman that feels like even the church women, like everyone should be like a stripper for their husband.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I believe that wholeheartedly. You
Mhm.
should be performing for your husband. So I feel like it should be that for
this is probably
the
the first
men
time
as
this has been
well.
used in this.
It should be
Want to
equal.
have
The same.
intercourse with you.
Jesus.
The first time.
Intercourse with you.
Relations.
So,
First time on Shine Your Light
the
podcast.
same way.
Oh, red right there.
The same way. Oh Jesus. that you would want to provide for your partner on a monetary level. You know, that
Mhm.
shows that love.
Mhm.
It's the same way you should want to please your partner on absolutely every single level.
I hate that cancers are given such a bad rap, but
I don't
okay.
think y'all are giving a bad rap.
No.
I
I
think
think
y'all love hard. I
Really
think it can
do.
be toxic. I've seen a toxic cancer, but
Mhm.
I've seen the.
I'm
love
aware. I'm
cancer.
aware of toxicity. I am aware of it, and if it comes to that level, I'm like, damn, is that me? Like for real? Like, and it comes frequently. It comes to
But I'm-
fruition. I was like, ooh, that's
I don't
rough.
think your sign is your identity. I think there are certain traits there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but you can become like more mature, you know, as
Mhm.
a person. Some
Mhm.
people say Pisces are emotional. Now
And men,
I'm
Pisces men are whores.
Pisces men. I've seen that. I've seen Pisces men, not Pisces women. But
Pisces
I've
are
definitely
whores.
seen
What's the
Pisces
month for
men.
Pisces? March?
February, March.
Yeah.
March,
Okay.
I'm March 1st. March 1st.
Are
March
you?
1st to
So-
March.
My daughter's March 3rd.
March 6th.
See, Pisces men are not whores. What it is after Valentine's Day, they found out what their value was.
I'm gonna need you to be on mic.
And then they just went down that avenue.
He's over there whispering.
Right.
No, they
Yeah,
just be
no.
whores.
So, but I believe you can become more mature in whatever it is. Like I'm very aware of my emotions, but I'm also very emotionally intelligent. So
I know
I
I've
don't
went-
think you have to just
I've
own
gone
that
through stages of
identity.
being whatever the men have been in their life, as
I mean,
far
but-
as not being. But at the stage of my
Cancers
life,
have a lot
You
of
saw
saying-
your
emotions.
role.
I mean, at
Y'all
this
got a
point,
lot
I'm
of
like,
emotions. Y'all have to know
whatever.
how to handle your
Right.
emotions.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
have a
different now.
song for absolutely every single emotion y'all go through. But y'all just have to know how to handle y'all emotions. That's all. Did you enjoy your chocolate strawberry?
I did.
All right, so up here, guys, let's stop talking about the other stuff.
I'm just,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's true.
You got?
So, the other question is actually pertains to dating a man who are attention-seeking men, extra flirty, who basically women are the same, maybe deemed as attention-seeking on social media. So that was the topic. We don't have to go into
So
that.
basically, that's a whole show.
That's a whole show by itself. So let's actually go to the cards. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so we can just pull a couple cards if that's okay, and then we can actually wrap it up in just a moment.
Pull the card.
But yeah, let's pull some cards. So Lisa, Miss Lisa, would you do the honors of pulling the first card?
Do I have to pull it from the top?
No.
Preferred. Actually, let me make sure they're
Nope. Pull it from wherever you
in
want.
order. Oh, see, they weren't even in the right.
see being extra with the directions here.
All mixed up and everything.
wanna know.
Is it from the bottom or the top, in the middle? You play spades.
She's very extra.
You a spades player. That's why.
I'm a spadeologist.
Yeah, cut-
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
cut-
I could-
cut the deck.
What
Cut the
y'all
deck.
gonna-
I'm a
what y'all gonna do is
spadeologist.
leave my new friend alone. Let her be.
Lisa. Lisa's extra, okay?
Let her be
She's
extra.
extra in the best way possible.
Extra.
Ooh, okay. What it say on the back?
Manifestation.
Ooh. Oh,
Describe your ultimate dream vacation. Oh, this is easy.
yes. Remember, this is for the ladies initially, but go ahead.
We got dream vacations too. We like to go places.
I like getting flued out.
You just got flew out.
Period.
No, guys, don't fly out and don't fly nobody out unless y'all are in a relationship. And
That's
y'all
a
flying
That's how we
vacation.
get there.
Okay, I'm just making
We
sure.
don't
because
live
some
in
of these
Milwaukee
out.
forever.
No, because some of these people be flying people out
Fluing
with
people out.
with the expectation that more is going to happen, and they
Yeah.
they haven't entered
Yeah, but
into
we're
that
talking
space.
about a vacation.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
talking
Well,
about
sometimes
those
you
who
get
are
flued
already
out, and it
on
does
that
happen.
level.
Shut the front
Exactly.
door. No.
So
No.
the ultimate vacation for me would be, because I love surprises.
Yes.
So the ultimate vacation for me would be, first of all, it's a surprise. Like he's surprising me with the vacation.
I love that.
Somewhere tropical. And just me and him, and we have time to like really like connect with each other.
I love that. No phones and just like
Oh, I don't know about the no phones, but
but
I mean, for the most part, no
Okay.
phones. Like, because you have to have your phones, emergencies, and for pictures and all those.
We
things.
think we need to have our phones.
But not while
we
you're.
we would stop
not
and
while
get some
you're
Kodak
engaging.
disposable cameras, and you can make
Why
it
you
happen.
don't post that?
You-
Look, fam,
Afterwards.
I'm not gonna go out in the middle of nowhere.
I want to be in the middle
no
of nowhere.
phone.
not anymore.
We
with
used
a
to.
in a cabin.
We
We
used to.
And it used to be safer.
It used to be. but
That's
it's not
true.
no more.
That's true.
'Cause
I think
I'm
it's-
sorry,
I-
I ain't gonna be in
I
Mexico.
I think it's just as
with
safe
no
as it has.
phone.
I think it's just as safe as it's always been. We're creating these unsafe situations.
No.
This-
Nah,
it's-
it'd be some
No,
stuff
it'd be
happening.
some stuff.
I've gone without my phone and I'm still alive. I'm good.
Somebody will put us in a suitcase though, Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michelle definitely would fit the whole suit.
For real.
Probably.
Right.
So
That's all right. That's all right.
I mean, I wouldn't say just no phones, but
Big
I mean
experience.
minimal phone access. Like we're not
Scheduled
sitting
scheduled phone time.
Yeah.
there, right. We're not
Connecting,
sitting
fully
there.
connecting.
We're not sitting there right across from each other, right next to each other, just scrolling on our phones. Not like that.
We shouldn't be doing
Well-
that, period, regardless, though.
But definitely, I mean, yeah, we're gonna take some pictures. We might, do a little live or something like that. Try to show, our, where
the
we're
love.
at.
Show
Our
the
love.
Flex
love.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah,
The flex.
yeah,
Show
the
the
flex.
love.
Got to show the flex.
Show the love.
Our Versace robes.
Cheers to that, sister. Coming soon. Coming
But,
soon.
But like,
Oh.
right here. But
Y'all over here with these glasses like it's champagne. It's straight
Right,
pineapple,
it's
orange,
It's
pineapple
juice.
mango.
We're going to have wine time after.
I don't believe you have the audacity to have pineapple mango juice on the show.
We're going to have wine time after. But I love that. I love that.
so that would be my dream vacation.
where would y'all go?
Like I said, somewhere tropical. It doesn't
Okay.
necessarily have to be like I don't have like, oh, it has to be Hawaii. It has to be Jamaica. Somewhere tropical. Somewhere where it's gonna be hot and there's palm trees and there's an
Yeah.
ocean and there's sandy beaches
So the
and I'm in
south
my
side of LA.
bikini.
Ain't nobody got time.
No.
You just named everything that's on the south side of LA. It's palm trees, it's beaches.
Outside of the country.
Or just tropical. It don't. We could be
You
in
don't have
Puerto
to be-
Rico.
Oh, okay.
Tropical
Okay.
on the south side of
I'm
No. Why are you trying to be funny?
He is. He is. I love that.
Because I could be in Miami too if you really want to
Go
be
ahead, be
funny.
down there with the drug dealers.
Hey, it's lit. Let's go to Opalaka.
This sounds more like a memory,
You
Lisa.
go to Opalaka. I'm
Sounds
not
like
going
this.
with
This sounds more
Right.
Like a
She's
memory.
already experienced it.
And why did you invite me? Okay,
you. Now me.
Tommy.
No, I'm
I gotta pick a card.
Okay.
because Tommy ain't. Oh, it's for each of the part. I thought it was
Yes.
Never mind. I keep mine to myself.
No, say it.
Nope, it's too late. Tommy,
Where you gonna go?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You said the mountain.
Pull it, Tommy. You gonna go to the next one. You gotta say what the title says.
Oh, I just came from the top. I'm not gonna be difficult like your guest.
Oh, no, I didn't. I put it in the middle.
Worth the wait is the card, right?
Okay,
Ooh,
worth
that's
the
why you
wait.
wanted it.
Remember, this is for women, so I don't know.
Explain why you are not married yet.
Oh, there you go. Are you worth the wait? I don't know.
Absolutely, I am.
But
Yes,
that's
you are.
not fair. That's not a fair question for him because
But
he's
I
been
know.
married.
But
But
okay,
I have
but
been
why?
married.
But why aren't you married right now?
I'd get married again.
Love.
Explain why you are not married.
It's typically for a woman, but yeah.
Because he sold drugs in the hood.
Because after experiencing the marriage that I did have and kind of come across all the things that I knew that I fell short and what I needed, my criteria has become way more stringent. It becomes
So
way
you
more
haven't found
particular.
someone that lines up with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you feel like the age bracket is slim? You know, or
well,
there's
the-
slim pickings in that age
Well,
bracket? I should
the
say?
downside to my age is that the women my age have experienced the same thing I have, so we're kind of dueling for that kind of
Mm,
those criteria. And then the women that are younger than me are looking for things that I already experienced,
mm.
and I'm
That's
not
good.
sure if I'm willing to
Teach.
Go backwards.
really
Yeah.
willing to go backwards. Like, I've
You
had
don't have to.
I've had a vasectomy for 16 years. I can't give you a child, so
Right.
I won't.
Hey man.
So
How I feel about that.
I've had one for two. I got my two and I'm done.
I have 2 children, and I'm not never.
I have one. I have a
Really?
16-year-old.
Wait,
and,
wait,
and
wait.
if my
Who got flame?
husband wanted me to have a child, I would have a child with my husband.
Kayla.
you
Absolutely.
got Kayla that's gonna fly me out.
Ooh,
Hey,
this is a good
Kayla.
question.
What it say? What it say on the back?
All right, this one says booed up.
Oh.
How long is it okay to be in a relationship with no marriage?
Oh.
Ooh, good question. Look at your little game. Okay.
I see.
Now there is a caveat. It does say if you believe in marriage.
Yes,
So that's-
exactly.
So I
Because
do
not
believe-
everybody believes in marriage.
I do believe in marriage. Honestly, I think after about 3 years, you start questioning.
Yeah.
If
2
you
for me.
only reason why I say that is because the first year is really just a learning process,
Mhm.
learning you as well as learning them.
Oh, yeah.
The second year is usually the building years where you guys are learning to be a couple, because that's a whole thing people have to do now too, is learn how to be a couple and not make everything about them and how they feel.
Ooh, yes.
You sometimes got to learn how other people feel in certain situations.
Mhm.
Oh,
So by
sorry.
that third year, y'all should kind of already be in y'all
My bad.
routine. Y'all should be building things already automatically together. Like you're staying together in an apartment anyway. You probably got one bank account for the bills in the household together. You're doing things, planning trips the whole 9 yards. So usually about year 3 is when we really should be looking at what's stopping you from getting married. Because believe it or not, we should have kind of had this conversation already in one
Mhm.
shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
So whether we talked about it when we first started talking, like, oh, what do you feel about marriage? Yeah, I want to get married one day. Now here we are 3 days later. So what you feel about marriage? It shouldn't be I want to get married one day. The answer should be I do want to get married to you,
There you go.
but let's look at why. Because it could
Don't
be
even start.
financial. It could be your credit score is a 417, and then you got to get that up. It could be, well, I want to get a better job, or I really want to move to Texas instead of being here. Are you ready to make that move? Because that could be the make or break of whether or not I propose to you or not.
Right.
You know, it could be a
Things
few,
line up.
few
Yeah.
things. Or maybe you just not marriage material yet, but you see the potential.
Mhm.
You know,
Can I interject?
Gotta line up. Yeah.
Am
Go
I able to
ahead.
interject? Okay.
Interject.
Remember we talked about is love enough?
Yes. I love that love is enough for you, Tommy, but go ahead.
I feel like that was some type of a dig, but I'm gonna keep
No,
on
I
going.
love that love
No.
is enough. That's why she's trying to fly you out.
I believe that love can be enough in a circumstance that will expedite a marriage. I think
I love
I
that.
think that there should not be a time frame. And honestly, if it's too long, why are you like
Why are we still here?
why are we still here
You
kind
know,
of thing?
because
Yeah.
you're comfortable. And
Sometimes you know
why am I not worth you committing to on this level?
you know from the beginning. It's just like I heard that women know if they're going to have sex with you or not from the minute they meet you. Immediately. So
Right.
why is that not the same circumstance for a man to know that this is the person I'm going to be with? I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens. So if it's
I
real
agree.
love, if it's real true love, you're going to do everything possible to make sure that it works.
I agree.
So it shouldn't wait to like that whole like credit score and all that stuff. If my credit score is shot and I want to marry you,
Work on it
I know
together.
I need to. My credit score is I got to do some work.
Right.
I'm gonna make it happen because I don't want her to look at me crazy because
Right.
this is we're bringing this
But that's
together.
from a man's perspective.
okay.
Right.
Let me
What
ask
if
you.
her credit's 417?
Let me
You
ask
know?
you women a question.
If I love her enough, we're gonna work. We're gonna work on it together.
I love
And
it.
we have to have that conversation. Oh, my
Let me
bad.
ask, let me ask you.
We got a little
Let
like
me ask you
we got a little
women-
thing on the
It's okay.
screen right here. I don't know what's
Oh,
going
that's
on here.
because I moved mine.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the visuals that they see.
I kind of like not seeing it. It's kind of weird.
All right. Okay, here's my questions for you. women. Let's say that the man that you're with proposes to you, and you say yes.
It's coming.
How long are you willing to stay engaged before you have to be like, what's going on?
No more than a year for me. No more than a year.
That's
It
that-
depends on. For me, it depends on what I want or what we want.
And see, I want
Person.
a small wedding.
So like,
I don't want like, you know what I'm saying, something extravagant. But go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with the small wedding. Well, I want a destination.
I know.
wedding.
I would take a destination wedding too, but go ahead. Go ahead.
But I definitely want it to be small.
Okay.
I don't want everybody in Milwaukee and my stuff.
If I'm proposing, this we
I just want my core
we
people
ready.
there.
If I'm proposing, we ready.
No, because the
Yeah.
reason why
I love
A
that.
year,
I
a
love
year.
Because the
that.
reason why I'm asking that, let's go with the credit part, because I've seen this happen a few times. You propose and you want to get married, but while having conversations with people, you find out, oh yeah, you know, when you guys get married, your credit score come out. So you had the 417 credit score, but you didn't know that by y'all getting married, it can affect hers. So
Right,
now,
wants
or
to
not
raise it up.
necessarily, or even in the sense of like he knows that she has a 417 credit score, but he knows that he also loves her and he wants to.
That's what I'm
be
saying. Because
with
some
her.
people like,
Right.
I want you to
But
be
it's
the one
like-
with me, so I'm gonna propose to you. But now
Let's work
Let's
on some
work
we
other
gotta
on
get
things.
credit.
these, we
I
gotta
get
get these.
that.
And
things
actually,
fixed.
if you are
understand that.
loving enough, you know that that's a conversation you can have, and they trust you enough to actually make this thing happen. Because
Right.
otherwise,
And
people
that's
are
why I
afraid
asked,
to
how
actually
long
share.
are you willing to
My
wait?
credit score went up 95
'Cause like
points
you said-
yesterday.
Amen.
Yes.
Like
I
you
was-
said, you're
I was a
only
little
willing
hyped.
to wait a year, so that
No
means we
more.
got a year to get you to at least 620.
Amen.
Right.
And they
That's a-
don't take that long. It doesn't.
It
take long
really
to raise your
don't.
core
It
score.
don't, but
Yeah.
you got to
But
be
it do.
disciplined.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to think about we fixing your credit and trying to buy and pay for it.
All right.
Yeah,
So she
that's
gotta love you.
destination
She gotta
wedding.
love you enough to
Destination
have those
wedding.
ramen
I got
noodles. Love me enough to have.
And she gotta have some financial,
Literacy, for
you know,
sure.
some discipline.
Mhm.
Right. Well,
But-
she is an accountant, so I don't think
Well,
That
my
would be an
credit score ain't
issue.
the best, but, I'm
But
just
that's all
saying.
right.
Hey, I'm 30
That is
credits
all right.
away from being an accountant. I don't want the degree, so kudos to you.
I just want somebody to help. I am willing to give my whole check to whoever and figure it out.
I
Just figure it out for me.
I
Help
wouldn't
me,
mind
please.
doing
So
that.
many, it's so many
Um,
men that would not though.
Oh.
yeah.
That's
I
because
just
they
want
dealt with
to
women
be
in the
swept
past who
away.
didn't know how to properly
Man,
manage
just pick
money.
me up and just.
I just tell me how much I got, how much I need. I mean, can I go get it?
Or
Can
they
I?
don't trust you enough.
So do
Tommy,
y'all
you
believe?
just-
Take on
you
that
need 2 accounts. You need
Yeah,
one where your money
y'all
go
together
into, and then money where she just puts below
for
money you.
bills.
This is
Yeah.
what- here's $300 in your account from your last paycheck to go do whatever you want.
Right. You can stay on the budget.
Sometimes I can $30, $40. I just need some
So
gas.
really it's just because she
Yeah.
don't
I need
want
some
you to
gas.
find out.
Right.
For me, the way I look at it, like y'all should always have your own accounts.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody needs their own money.
True.
Because
One account and two
definitely because we,
different
you know,
accounts.
my 10-year,
One
we
account
did
together.
it where all of our money went into one account, all of it. His whole paycheck, my whole paycheck, we put it all together, and then most of my money is paying damn bills because he was making less than me. And then when it was time for me to go buy myself something that I wanted because I felt like I deserved it because I worked hard
Yeah.
for it, the money
Facts.
wasn't there because it all went on bills, which bills need to be paid, yes, but hell, you should have did more to have your half. You get what
That's
I'm saying?
why I
That's why
always say
everybody should
two.
have. Okay, you have a joint account for all the bills.
You have your
He got his
individual.
account, and
So how does that
I got
work?
mine.
Because in my previous marriage, we had our own account, and we were able to transfer from each other's account if we needed to pay the bills, and we just had communication. If I am giving you all my money to say, all right, can you whatever, and do you give me the money to put in my account, or I have my own money that I
Depends on how
save?
you-
Like
whatever
it-
you
No,
feel
like-
you talk
comfortable
about
with.
how much I'm going to
So,
contribute
like-
to the account, or
Because, like for
Yeah.
example, my setup with my job right now, I can put 2 accounts on my paycheck,
I can
Yeah.
do that too.
so I can
or even if
split.
you can't.
Yeah, so I split and put a certain dollar amount that automatically goes in account 1, no matter what I made,
Mhm,
and then everything else extra goes into account 2.
mhm.
Okay.
That way, there's always a set amount going to the bills. So there's this one account where my bills auto draft out of that I never touch for any other reason.
Mhm.
And no matter what I did that week, there's always 2 deposits into that account, which will always cover the household bills.
Mhm.
So if I only have $7 in my personal account after everything, I only got $7 to work with. And that's
Yep.
how I gotta have my things.
Mhm.
When we had the joint account, we went to her bank. So she has her personal account, but the business account was at her bank, and I had my account completely across town.
Mhm.
That way, I deposit it in there, and then I tell her to send me what I wanted because I needed blow money.
Mhm.
So I needed money where I can go out and have a good time with the guys, and she managed all the bills and everything in regards to it. So if she needed to put extra in it, her bank is already connected to it, so she'll just transfer in what she needs. But at the end of the day, all my money went in there, and I'll just tell her to give me what I need for that weekend.
Mhm.
So whether it came out of her pocket eventually, or if it came out of what I put in the business account,
Mhm.
the family account, I should say, I would only say, hey, I need $100. I'm going out with the guys this week.
I think this is the part of marriage I kind of miss, that the accountability. The accountability.
balances.
Yeah, financial
Yeah.
accountability is something
Yeah.
I'm missing, and that's not that I'm like frivolous, but it would just help to be like I have a responsibility other than myself.
All right. So one final question for Lisa. You can pull the card, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap that up.
Should I pick the card for you?
Yeah, pick it for me.
Okay, because you over there picking.
Yeah.
The top one gonna be easy because
I
it
know.
said manifestation.
I know. She had manifestation
Yeah, we
already.
already had
This
it
is a
already.
blind pick right here.
Okay.
Ooh, what's it say?
Oh,
What it say? What it say? What it say?
Just friends?
Oh,
Oh, you know that's a good one for me.
let's
Probably.
see. Let's see.
Have you
Ask it.
have you ever been friend zoned by a man you wish to
Oh.
date? Yes.
You have? That doesn't go too
Yeah.
often from the for the women.
We actually
Well-
do friend zone y'all more than y'all think we do.
Yeah, because it's a difference.
Okay.
And you know I have been.
I mean, if you're talking about somebody that you've previously dated, that's
And you know who I'm
different.
talking about.
That's different though, because y'all were previously together.
No, we weren't together. We've never been together.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
Girl, you don't quit.
okay. Okay. Are y'all still friends now?
I mean, technically, yeah.
So
I mean,
my question to you is,
been
if
friends
you,
with him for 20 plus years.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
If you were friend zoned and you get into a relationship with somebody else, would you maintain that friendship with someone that you're attracted to?
I mean, not
Mm.
on that level that we were. No,
Okay.
it's more so like
I like
a
that.
cordial thing, like what up? I see you, out or whatever, or maybe on your birthday, or
There's
something like
boundaries
that.
set.
Closing question.
Yep. That's,
If friends said, all right, let's go,
And you're single.
and
And
you're
I'm single.
single or not,
well, no.
no, because if I'm not, then
It's off
you
the
missed the
table.
boat.
Yeah.
okay,
Because you friends on me when you could have dated me.
okay.
Amen.
But if I'm at this point for him, it still would be a no.
Hmm.
But
She know too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
We're
a
gonna talk.
you know what I'm talking
there's a
about.
person out there that came up to me. I'm like, all right, I'm dropping everything.
Yeah. But I do have a person that if they were to come that way, then I'm talking about whoever. Goodbye.
GTD,
All right.
get the drugs.
Ain't nobody got time, Lord. Ain't nobody got time. So
GTD.
they didn't get to not even half of the questions that I
We
have
never do.
here.
You always create these heated
and,
conversations.
and extra questions in between.
Game night needs to
Listen.
just be by itself.
Right, you
Yes,
need to,
Lord.
you need to come on
So
the
we
shine your
are-
light game.
We are absolutely going to have another show, a part 2, where we can come together and really, go over all of these questions in more detail. Please delete anything that you've learned about me personally today. But again, y'all, if y'all have tuned in, y'all are my family, y'all are my cousins and them. Thank you so much to the beautiful Lisa, for Miss Lisa for coming on the show, blessing us with her beautiful presence. She is such a queen. So thankful for her. Thank you so much, Tommy, for being in the building, blessing us with your
Thank you
kinsmanship,
for having me.
all that
I
good
appreciate
stuff.
it.
We appreciate you. I love you so much, Tommy.
Love you too.
You always show up when I need you. So
because it's you.
I
That's all.
appreciate you more than you know. And shout out to Tony Tone for being in the building and being on the mic. We appreciate you as well. Thank y'all for shining your light. Thank y'all for watching us today, watching the show and being a part of the show. So until next time, y'all, we will see y'all soon.